You are listening to the Love and Money Podcast with Shakira, and today I'm going to talk about the moratorium. When does the moratorium end? July 31st. So, evictions have started, and they are not evicting people who have rental assistance agreements. That's where we are on the moratorium. The Supreme Court decided to leave the CDC's moratorium on evictions in place. They did not lift the ban on evictions for tenants who failed to pay all or some rent during the pandemic. And this was a vote of 5-4 in the court. And the moratorium was left in place for evictions. Uh, and the moratorium was put in place by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So, again, it's set to expire July 31st. Evictions are already taking place right now, but for those who have rental assistance agreements, they will not be evicted. Congress, they have the power to extend the moratorium. So far, the Biden administration does not plan to extend it. So, July 31st is the expiration date for the moratorium. As of now, there are 7 million people who are behind on their rents. That's 7 million people. So this could be a mass eviction taking place. July 31st, as I stated, evictions have already started. Or, like I said, the administration has the power to extend this again. But currently, they have no plans on extending it. And as I stated again, if you have a rental assistance agreement, you will not be evicted. So there is $46 billion worth of money that Congress has to support people. They have $46 billion, but there's been a delay on getting that money out to the people who need help. So it's really not guaranteed, but they do have the money to assist the people that need help. And that is $46 billion that has been set out for them. So far, the pandemic and the moratorium has been going on for an average of 15 months, and the landlords, they have had the financial burden of carrying these expenses. So we will see what happens. As I stated already, evictions have already started taking place. And if you have a rental assistance agreement, then you won't be evicted. And then it is set to expire July 31st. So we're either going to see mass evictions. This is 7 million people who are behind on their rent. So we're either going to see mass evictions taking place, which will be a great buying opportunity for people who have money, or the administration will change their mind and extend the moratorium. So we will see what happens as far as the moratorium goes. And then I would say some of the learning lessons out of this, because it's important to always get a lesson out of whatever experience that you are going through. For landlords, I would say the learning experience would be to utilize Section 8 heavier. Section 8 is guaranteed rent. So it doesn't matter if the tenant pays or not, you're always going to be getting paid. Um, and then if you decide not to use Section 8, say for instance, you don't trust the government, um, then just have a reserve, like a 1 year reserve. So if something like this were to happen, that you wouldn't feel too burdened. So I could see those as being two lessons for the landlords as far as utilizing Section 8, or if you don't trust the government, having your own 1 year reserve. And then on the tenant side, as far as the lesson that I can see coming from this, would be um, something like starting your own business, like transitioning from an employee to a business person. Or if you're not interested in doing that sort of thing, then looking more at the type of career that you go in. Like we can see the careers who were more stable versus the careers were that were not stable. Like for instance, people who were least affected were people who were in healthcare or radio, television, those sorts of things. Whereas the people who were deeply hurt would be examples would be like the restaurant business. So just kind of looking and observing to see what type of career you would be interested in. So on the tenant side, I could see the two lessons would be transitioning from an employee to a business person. And if you're not interested in that, then taking a deeper look into what career change you might be interested in, some careers that you see that may be more stable. So that is what is going on with the moratorium, with the pandemic almost being over. A lot of people have been vaccinated, and a lot of people have not been vaccinated. Some people still refuse to get vaccinated. So, this is where we're at now with the pandemic, where it's we're getting close to the end now. So that's what's happening now with the moratorium and the pandemic. And this is the Love and Money podcast with Shakira. If you like this podcast, please share it with one other person. And please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the algorithm. Thank you for listening.